Sathya Sai Speaks, Volume 13, Chapter 21, Expand the Heart, Part 1 of 2. Without Satya, Dharma, Shanti and Prema, truth, righteousness, peace and love, the accumulation of scholarship is a barren achievement. Without them, all charities and services rendered to others are ineffective. Without them, positions of authority to which one is raised become positions of persecution. Without them, no good act or meritorious achievement can yield fruit. There are 4 chief types of people: those who see good and only good in everything and everyone. Those who see the good as good and the evil as evil. Those who see the good as evil and the evil as good. And lastly, those who do not see the good at all. Because even the good they see, they transmute into evil. Of these, one can tolerate the first 3, perhaps, but the 4th type is definitely demonic. Education is now caught up in confusion. Instead of leading the country on along prosperity and fraternity, it struggles to take it along alien and degrading paths. It does not build on the strong, sustaining foundations of Indian culture, but is still based on the plans of Thomas Macaulay. Among most of the products of modern education, we do not find even traces of moral virtue, honesty, integrity, eagerness to serve and readiness to renounce. One who lives for the sake of eating is a sinner. The education that was practiced in ancient India was far superior and far more fruitful, for it equipped the student with a healthy spirit of self-reliance. It endowed him with mental peace and equipoise. It never allowed him to be enslaved by the glittering fancies and fascinations of other cultures. It taught him to discriminate between the flippant and the stable, the upgrading and the downpulling. It enthused the student to offer his life at the feet of his motherland with a glow on his face and a sparkle in his eye. It armed him against all obstacles on the path of self-culture and self-realization. It exhorted him to oppose without rest or relief untruth, injustice and violence. But instead of cultivating these high ideals and incorporating them into our educational system, we are now borrowing educational ideals from other people with different heritages. We have no faith in the system that has been extolled by our ancestors for millennia. Education is to be valued not as a means of earning one's livelihood, but as the essential requisite for a happy, peaceful, and progressive life, leading man from the animal stage of existence to the presence of the divine, where love and light reign undisturbed. He who lives for the sake of eating is indeed a great sinner. He who lives for the sake of reaching the full awareness of his innate reality is blessed. The first one is a papi, sinner. The second, a gopi, blessed one. Readiness to renounce is a prime virtue of character. Intelligence being the special mark of humans, every effort must be made to amplify and sharpen it, so that it may be a fit instrument for understanding the inner and the outer worlds. Along with intelligence, character too has to be cultivated in equal measure, for then alone can that intelligence be used to serve society. The readiness to renounce one's pleasures in order to relieve the burden of another is a prime virtue of character. Moksha means liberation. Renunciation too involves giving up or liberation. The secret of both is the same. What exactly has to be renounced? Desire is the worst enemy, and it has to be canalized and reduced with determination until it ceases to bother you. Beside desire, anger, greed also have to be discarded, for they are present wherever there is desire. When you say bowman, it is implied that arrows too are there with the bow. Thus, desire is ever associated with anger and greed. Desire is bad even if it is for fame and authority. It is the avarice for power and pelf that ruins many a human life. Life is a journey. The students here have to journey long, so it is necessary to give them the skill, the enthusiasm, and the security that can take them happily along. Their hearts are pure, steady, and inclusive. Elders should so behave that they do not tarnish their hearts or make them narrow and vengeful. They must be encouraged to enlarge them and soften them through intensive social welfare. Wealth cannot yield joyous contentment. Our educational institutions have failed to maintain the high standards of yore. In the past, in the ashrams, hermitages of the rishis, sages, one was declared fit only if one secured 100% mark in one's subject of study. Now, however, 30 marks out of 100 are enough for the university to grant one a certificate of having passed. That means one can commit 7 mistakes with impunity and be none the worse. When such is the case and such is the ease with which a degree can be secured, and when degrees are the basis for being appointed to positions of authority, the person so appointed will tend to commit 70 mistakes for every 100 assignments and be safe in his post. How can these people be the saviors and pillars of the India of tomorrow? Therefore, I always tell my students, those that study in my colleges, to attach more importance to avoidance of remarks than acquisition of marks. Wealth cannot yield joyous contentment. Divinity alone can confer that. Yearn for God, and joy and peace will be added unto you. Embodiments of the divine Atma. When you pursue these elevating ideals, you will come up against many obstacles which others place in your path. So you must be ever alert and vigilant not to be taken in by their specious pleas. Awareness is life. Be aware of your inner strength and glory. Express that glory through loving service to society. In northern India, yogis, spiritually advanced persons, sages and monks are addressed as Maharaj, which means emperor, for an emperor is he who has a rich treasury of the gems of detachment and service, not one who has his vaults full of precious metals. The wealth that you hoard is not yours. The wealth that you have shared is yours. For wealth that belongs to you need not be hidden. End of part 1 of 2, Bangalore, January 8th, 1976.